Hey everyone, this is MalavarTCOne coming at you with an amazing top 5 most wanted characters in Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video with a collaboration with our very own Broadway Saiyan coming in and helping me out on this.
Hey, mahal everyone. Yes guys, this is 40 the Broadway Saiyan. I am very blessed, grateful, and honored to be a part of this collaboration with MalavarTCOne. I've actually been a follower of MalavarTCOne for quite some time now. I don't think he knows that, but I have been following him for quite a while, even before I started YouTube. I myself am a Dissidia Opera Omnia YouTuber, as well as I feature some other games, and I have been recently streaming on Twitch, so be sure to check that out. But yes, MalavarTCOne, you are an amazing individual. You have great content, guys, so be sure to check him out as well. And I'm super excited again to be doing this collab of our top 5 most wanted characters.
Definitely, this is so exciting, and make sure you stick around till the end of the video because we have a super amazing giveaway collaborating together, both me and Broadway Saiyan, to bring a super special giveaway to all of you. So make sure you stick around till the end, and let's go right into it. The first character we want to talk about is Rinoa from Final Fantasy VIII. Rinoa, as you know, is a ranged character, but also a healer in Final Fantasy VIII, so her crystal affinity would be blue, that nice, mellow blue color. Her weapon is a pinwheel, which is pretty unique as a weapon. There isn't too many Final Fantasy characters that use pinwheels, so it's really exciting to actually have her using that, and it would probably be a special weapon just for her. Her first ability would be Curved Shot. It's a ranged wind attack, actually has an element behind it of wind, and it does brave damage equal to 30% of her max brave. That has huge potential if she has a huge amount of brave. Her ability, Curved Shot, turns into Angelo after it's used for one turn. So Angelo does an HP attack that delays enemy turn order, much like Setzer's move, where he can delay the enemy one turn. And then it turns back into the Curved Shot ability, which goes back to the max brave. Her ability 2, Angel Wings, is super awesome. It heals all the party of their missing HP, and on top of that, revives one downed ally after the heal. So whether it's one ally that's down or both, one of them gets revived. The revived party member only has 58% HP, but it's still really awesome. Her passive Hero, very unique item in Final Fantasy VIII, is actually her passive. It has a 10% chance on hitting HP 0 that instead goes to 1 HP, which is really awesome. But on top of that, if she used Angel Wings right before this ability, it becomes a 100% chance for any Rinoa until the next turn. So even if you're on a multiplayer team and you're a Rinoa and you have an ally Rinoa, what becomes 100% chance if anybody has used Angel Wings. What do you think about her, Broadway Saiyan?
So I really like how you designed her here, Malavar. I like how she is ranged, and it makes sense because she has that pinwheel. I think blue crystal affinity definitely fits her well with the type of character that she is. Her Curve Shot has amazing potential, as you mentioned. I think the only downside to it is that it has an element attached to it, so if she were to go up against an enemy or a boss that has a resistance to wind, it could be a liability for her, but the fact that it deals damage equal to 30% of her max brave has huge potential. So if her max brave is like, I don't know, like at 20,000, 30,000, that's an enormous amount of brave damage she's going to be dealing. And then having it turn into Angelo, I think, is really awesome because Angelo is like her little pet, and it being an HP attack that also has that delay mechanic with it is really, really cool. So it's kind of like Ishtola's first ability, and also definitely like Setzer's second ability, Red Card. Angel Wings, great, because we don't have a lot of revivers except for Aerith currently right now. Healing all the parties missing HP and reviving one of them with 50% HP is great. That way it ensures that somebody is going to be up for the fight. And what's cool about that is a lot of boss fights, especially a lot of hard quests, have that achievement where if you finish the stage without having a KO'd member, then you get the achievement. And remember, reviving somebody actually bypasses that. So that's really, really nice that she has that. Her passive is definitely cool. This ensures that as long as you use Angel Wings before it goes off, it's kind of like that clutch. She'll revive herself with at least 1 HP, or she stays in battle with at least 1 HP. So that way she could stick around. She can either heal herself, she can use one of her abilities, or she could heal another party member. So it ensures that she hopefully will be sticking around for battle. Now, if they release her on global, she's going to be great. Not only for that passive, but for being able to revive. I think she's going to be definitely powerful. And then being able to deal 30% of her max brave with her ability is just something right now that not many characters have on global. If she was released on JP, JP is currently on this meta where it's all about support characters who grant massive amount of brave to the entire party, and then they deal an HP attack. That's what I'm seeing right now. Besides Lael, who is just nuts with his launching capabilities. So if she were to come out in JP with this kit, I would place her. I would be generous at placing her about a high B tier. I wouldn't place her anything higher than that. But that's my thoughts on this character. Overall, I like her, and we're long overdue Rinoa. We need to see Rinoa in Dissidia Opera Omnia. I mean, don't you agree with me? We need Rinoa.
Oh my gosh, I definitely think we need Rinoa. She is great waifu material. Jokes aside, she is a very fantastic character. So really excited to have her if she comes around. And these would be fantastic abilities to have with her as well. Let's move on to the next character. We have Orlando.
Orlando, yes, yes, yes. So I'm a big Final Fantasy Tactics fan, and you'll see this throughout this video, but Orlando is one of the characters that I want to see in Dissidia Opera Omnia. He would be an attacker, and he would be a damage ramp up, and we're going to get into that. So his crystal affinity is yellow, and it makes sense. He's the Thunder God, so he needs to have yellow as his crystals. His weapon is going to be Great Sword, just like in Final Fantasy Tactics. His ability one is called Stasis Sword, not Judgment Blade like what they gave to Agrias recently in JP, but Stasis Sword. So it is a 4-hit Brave plus HP attack. It has a 30% chance to paralyze the enemy for 1 turn, so very similar to Cloud's Cross Slash. It inflicts small defense down and small speed down to the target for 4 turns, so very nice. It also deals 80% more damage if it is a single target and has a low action delay. So very, very powerful. His ability 2 is Lightning Stab, not Hallowed Bolt, but Lightning Stab. So this is a 1-hit Lightning Magic Brave plus HP attack. So now he has options in the magical side of DPS, and he also has the lightning element. So in case you're fighting an enemy that's weak to lightning, well, you have this ability for that. This also grants Orlando the Thunder God buff for 5 turns. The Thunder God is going to be a unique buff, which means that it has a lining around the portrait. It cannot be dispelled. It cannot be pushed off. This Thunder God unique buff grants Orlando a small attack, defense, and speed up for 3 turns, and it gives him Brave damage immunity for 5 turns. So he has some sort of a pseudo-tank mechanic buff built into him, which is nuts that I actually decided to give him this. But hey, he's OP. He is the Thunder God. And this ability, just like his last one, deals 80% more damage if it is a single target. Now, his passive, I couldn't come up with a name for his passive, and Malavar actually came up with this one, but his passive would be the longer the fight goes, the higher his Brave damage get, and it goes up for 1% every time his turn passive. So combining that with his abilities that deal more damage when there's a single target, plus this passive, makes him a very effective boss killer. So he would be mowing down bosses left and right. So Malavar, what do you think of our OP Knight Thunder God Orlando here?
I'm going to say it right out flat. He would be an SS tier character, whether it was JP or Global. This guy is OP off the hook. He does so much damage. And it's not only that he does a lot of damage with the abilities, but the fact that that damage can increase is just out of this world. Especially if we start getting more quests, like harder quests or harder bosses that take longer and longer to beat. He's just going to mow them down. There's a boss in Chapter 12 that I think revives itself like 6 or 7 times. And I remember going through that, I was like, this is ridiculous. But if I had Orlando on my team, I would have just mowed him down, wrecked him to no end. On top of that, he can paralyze. I love Cloud's paralyze ability, and I think more characters need paralyzing, but it's so OP that given it to a huge damage output character like Orlando, I think just goes to show for itself. This character is definitely going to be an SS tier, and that's my thoughts on him.
Definitely, yeah. If they bring this character, he could possibly break the game like how he broke the game in Final Fantasy Tactics. But anyways, enough about Orlando. Let's get on to the next character. This is very unique, and I like what Malavar did with this, so I'm going to let him take the stage here, take the mic. Let's talk about Wedge and Biggs from Final Fantasy VIII.
Now, Wedge and Biggs, very unique pair. In all Final Fantasies when they show up, are very unique to their particular cases, but I chose the ones from Final Fantasy VIII because they actually fight you through the game multiple times, and you can tell what their weapons are as well as kind of what they do. Now, the character types are a tank pair, which is very unique because you have characters that synergize well together in Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, but none of them are really built to help each other out. But these two, on the other hand, are. The crystal affinity for Wedge would be blue, white for Big, so you can build them up in different ways as well, but they do work together. Their weapons would be mechanical weapons like they use in Final Fantasy VIII, one using a sword, one using, I think he uses a gun thing. An ability first one is called Last Chance 1 and 2. Now, Last Chance 1 and 2 are very awesome because they not only increase the ally speed for one of their abilities, but if it's used again by either one of them back to back, it can be used at any time. The second time it's called Last Chance 2, and it brings all the allies to the front of the turn order. So if you're increasing your speed and bringing all of yourselves up to the front of the turn order, you'll continually be able to chain reaction those moves and use them over and over, as well as help your other allies to get to the front of the turn order as well. Ability number 2, very unique to them. It's funny because this is kind of how they act in Final Fantasy VIII, is we're not leaving. We're here to the last drop. And it's really funny because they're always, even if they know they're going to lose, they just stay there. That move will use 2-hit physical brave attack to all allies, or to all enemies, not to allies. If Last Chance 1 or 2 was used right before this, it increases the physical defense up for 5 turns and gives a brave regen to all your allies as well. That's a pretty good buff. On top of that, their passive makes it so they have no max brave limit for either one of them. So if their if their brave just keeps going up and up and up, it never stops. So they could stay at the very front of the line, taking all that damage as well, and keep gaining that brave over and over and over. They both have the same moveset, but there's 8 of each ability to kind of make up for that.
Very, very cool and very unique indeed. I like how it's a tank pair. So what I'm seeing from this is that these characters are going to be counted as one unit, but they're together in battle with you. So that's definitely something unique that we don't have yet in Dissidia Opera Omnia. Last Chance 1 and 2, the most powerful mechanic definitely is bringing the allies to the front of the turn order, meaning that we have more chances to act, and that's definitely going to be something that's going to be fun to abuse if they brought a character like this into Opera Omnia. We're not leaving, for me, is icing on the cake. Not only is it because it's an AoE, but the physical defense definitely helps, so that way we minimize the amount of damage we take, and that brave regen is just amazing. Their passive is pretty funny that we gave them no max brave limit, so with characters that increase all allies max brave by a certain percentage, their max brave can go to no bounds, so you could potentially keep them alive, and then they would have what, like 70,000, 90,000 max brave, and then they would just unleash a massive HP attack. So that would be really funny to see. And I think it's very fair that we give them 8 of each ability, since they are a pair and they are sharing those abilities. Now, if they release this character or this pair of characters in global the way they are, the way that you structure them, I think they would also break the game. Mainly because of that turn order mechanic. Because think about it, if you're bringing your allies back to the front of the turn order every single time, that's pretty insane. That means the enemy would likely not be taking its turn for a while. Like, think about it. You put these two characters along with Setzer, as long as he has his passive with red card, and then Ishtola with their delay. You're delaying, and then you're putting your allies back to the front. So it's pretty nuts. So they would definitely, for me, if this was released on global, this is an SS tier for sure because of that mechanic. Now, if this was released on JP, they would still be good. I would definitely put them maybe at an A rank, and the only reason why is because they lack what other support characters have. Again, where I feel like being able to increase everybody's, or give everybody like a massive amount of brave, and then unleashing either an HP attack or an AoE HP attack, it's just too valuable right now. And that really keeps your party alive because it minimizes the amount of brave breaks that your party's going to take, meaning that there's a less likely chance that somebody's going to be taken out by a big HP attack. But overall, really, really good. I like how creative you got with this, Malavar. So very nice job there. Now I think we have another character coming up here, and yeah, it's a Final Fantasy Tactics character. So you guys know I'm a big Final Fantasy Tactics fan again because of Orlando, and now I'm bringing in Delita as one of our top 5 most wanted characters. So he's going to be an attacker debuffer. Crystal Affinity is red. His weapon is going to be Great Swords. His ability 1 is going to be North Wayne Strike. So this is a 5-hit magic brave attack that inflicts medium attack and defense down to target. It also grants the party a small defense up for 3 turns, and this has a low action delay. So this is great for potentially scoring a brave break, depending on how high the damage modifier is on each of those hits. His second ability is Holy Explosion, which is a 4-hit physical Holy Brave plus HP attack. So now we give him the option of dealing HP damage after dealing some brave damage. This inflicts speed down and small max brave down to target for 4 turns, and this also changes Delita's brave attack to brave attack plus. Plus. And Brave Attack Plus, his is going to be a one-hit Brave Attack that has a 50% chance to inflict poison to the target for 5 turns. And believe it or not, poison can actually be very handy when it's needed. So very, very cool. Malavar, what do you think? How would Delita perform in both Global and JP if he was currently released the way that we designed him here?
I would give him a tier of A in Global, or S in Global and A in JP. Now this is the reason why. That poison is very helpful actually. I use characters that have low HP like Terra and take a little while to get kind of started in their moves, especially in Global where they're not using the HP attack right after the Brave attack. If you're using a character like that needs a little bit of a setup, having the poison on the enemy is actually very helpful. That way they don't get their Brave up in order to take you down really easily. This is very helpful. I love all the debuffs he's giving. Attack, defense debuffs, as well as speed debuffs. All of these are great against bosses, enemies that just take forever to bring down. Debuffs are icing on the cake for me on this, because on top of that, not only doing that, but a ton of damage alongside it, I give him definitely an S tier for Global, A tier for JP, because we are kind of needing more of that launching, more of that delay, which is needed for more of the bosses that are happening on JP now. That being said, I love Delita as a character, and I love what you did with him, so thank you very much for... He's great!
Yeah, definitely. Again, big Final Fantasy Tactics fan, so I couldn't help it. I had to include another Tactics character into this lineup. Alright, our last character, which is designed by the courtesy of Malavar, again himself, is Ardyn from Final Fantasy 15. This one is pretty interesting, so I'm going to let you take the mic again. Let's talk about Ardyn.
Now, with Ardyn, I had a little bit too much fun, because not a lot of people like him. I like him, but a lot of people might not like him also because of the way I designed him, which is going to be really funny when we get to it. The character type is Mage Trickster, which really fits his persona of Trickster. His Crystal Affinity Black, he definitely wrecked the Final Fantasy 15 universe, made it so that it was in darkness for 50 years, very black-hearted, very evil dude, but on top of that, just a trickster and liking to have a lot of fun. Now his weapon, he uses one hand of a sword, one hand of a pistol, and you'll be able to see that in his abilities as well. Ability 1, Deception. He has a ranged magic attack, kind of a hybrid there, has a 50% chance of launching if multiple enemies, and 90% chance if there's only one. That's really huge launching actually. Pretty much as Laylee, his ability of launching almost all the time, this 90% is huge. It pretty much makes it so almost all the time you're going to be launching the enemy. On top of that, you're lowering their hit turn order by 1. That mixed together really helps on all bosses, really helps on kind of anything that you're fighting. Ability 2, Backstabber. Now this is the fun part. He has a 2-hit Brave attack followed by an HP attack. Okay, that's good. But what's next is actually the best part. He mixes the turn order randomly of the 4 allies enemies in the turn order. So if you have Ardyn at the front and you have an enemy and you have your 2 allies, okay, that may mix it up so your 2 allies are in front of that enemy. It could. Or if you have yourself and 2 enemy or your ally and then 2 enemy attacks, they're going to be moved randomly. Those 2 enemies could go before your allies. He could screw things over, or he could make it so it's really awesome. Either way, really fun. His passive, Elusive Teleport, very unique. Start at the turn of each round, gives his turn order preference to Ardyn, even if his speed is lowered. So if you're going from round to round to round in a quest, he's always going to be first in the turn order. Very unique, very interesting. What do you think?
Yes, very interesting indeed. I think the one thing that stands out to me is his second ability, Backstabber. So, yes, 2-hit Brave plus HP attack. Nice. Pretty standard, which is cool. At least he has a hybrid ability to deal damage on both sides of the spectrum. But that turn mix-up order, it really fits in with his Trickster, so I think this is funny and unique at the same time, because this is essentially a character that is either going to help you or is going to mess things up for you. But I think it's funny that you added that in there because of the kind of character that he is in Final Fantasy 15. His first ability now reminds me a lot of Lael. 50% chance to launch if it's multiple enemies, and 90% chance to launch if it's one enemy. So you're essentially scoring a launch every single time if it's a single enemy on a boss. That's 90% chance is very, very high. And then lowers the enemy hit turn order by 1 is just icing on the cake. Mm-hmm. And then his passive, making him have the ability to start first even if his speed is lowered, is very powerful. So then that way, that's pretty much a guaranteed launch against a boss. Now, if this character was released on Global, he may also break the game, and I say that based on his ability 1, because 90% chance to launch is very powerful, paired with his passive that you gave him, Elusive Teleport. Now, if this character was on JP, he would still be pretty high. I would still place him at a high tier. The only reason why I'm dropping him is because of that second ability. That second ability, again, can be beneficial or detrimental. The only reason I would see you using it is if you're confident that you could get some sort of setup, or let's say like you have your 3 characters going, then you have an enemy. You mix up the order, one character attacks with an HP attack, and then that enemy goes next and breaks that character. Breaking can actually be beneficial because it does increase the summoning bar rate, so that way you could summon faster. So that's where I could see it could be beneficial, but that's the only reason why I would drop him if he were to be released on JP, because that ability, being the tricks that he is, could potentially mess you up. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Ardyn, but overall, really good job on his design. I like what you did there.
Yeah.
All right.
I can agree with that actually. The whole trickster thing as well. I don't know if I'd use him, but he'd definitely be really fun.
Definitely. So now we're coming to the final part of the video, what we were talking about earlier. Malavar, I'm actually going to let you start this one off. So we got a giveaway. What's this all about, man?
Oh my gosh. If you like Nyx Ulrich or you love the Final Fantasy 15 Kingslave movie, this is the giveaway for you. We have a Kai Play Arts figure giveaway for Nyx Ulrich, and there's going to be one lucky winner. But there's some rules.
So here are the rules to enter, guys. All you gotta do is like this video, comment below. It can be anything. We just ask that you keep it family friendly because we don't want any derogatory comments on there. Subscribe to both of us, to both MalavarTCOne and the Broadway Saiyan YouTube channel, and those will get you entries. There will be a link for this giveaway that will tell you all the rules and how to enter and all that, so be sure to check that out. And our final words, guys, is we want to say thank you to you guys for your support in keeping this community together. Thank you to Square Enix especially for creating this game that just brings people together. The community itself has been amazing. We're all, you know, helping each other out and playing this game and just enjoying it. And essentially, this game is a nostalgic game for everybody because it's encompassing all of our characters from all the past Final Fantasies that we've played. So it's a real treat to be able to play this game on the go on our mobile devices. And I believe we're going to be announcing the winners on our separate YouTube channels. Is it August 1st?
Yeah, with August 1st or within the first couple days of August. Depends, probably like 1 to 2 days afterwards.
Sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good. So yeah, guys, be sure to check out this giveaway. One lucky winner is going to be winning this beautiful Nyx Ulrich Play Arts Kai figure. Any closing thoughts, Malavar?
Broadway Saiyan, I just want to say thank you for coming and doing this collaboration with me. You're an awesome YouTuber, and I really hope everyone here enjoys your content as well as mine and has a fun time watching all of our stuff.
Thank you so much for having me again, Malavar. It's an honor, it's a blessing, and I'm truly grateful. Hopefully we get to do this again. And again, thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Malavar, go ahead, kick it off, finish it.
Thanks, Broadway Saiyan, and as you know the rules to enter. Thanks everybody for watching. This has been a fantastic video, and I hope to see you all around again. Good night.
Good night.